In today's world, people are always talking about power, how to get it, how to keep it, and how to avoid being controlled by others. One of the most popular books on this topic is The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. It's a guide to understanding the hidden rules of how people gain and use power in everyday life, whether at work, in relationships, or in society. At the same time, there's been growing interest in a different kind of personality, the Sigma male. He's not loud or bossy like an alpha, and he's not a follower like a beta. A Sigma male is independent, quiet, and doesn't care much about social status. He goes his own way and doesn't need approval from others. That's what makes him so interesting and often misunderstood. This video is about how Sigma males use the 48 laws of power to their advantage. Because even though they don't chase power in the traditional sense, they understand how the game works. And when they play, they often win, silently and efficiently. We'll take a look at what makes Sigma males different, go over what the 48 laws of power are, and focus on a few key laws that fit the Sigma mindset perfectly. Then we'll wrap it up with some real-life tips on how to apply these ideas without changing who you are. Whether you see yourself as a Sigma or are just curious, you'll learn something useful about power and how it can be used without being loud, fake, or aggressive. Understanding the Sigma male. So, who exactly is a Sigma male? A Sigma male is a man who doesn't follow the usual social structure. He's not trying to be the leader of the pack like the alpha male. He's not trying to fit in and follow others like the beta male. Instead, he operates outside the system. He's the lone wolf, calm, confident, and self-reliant. Sigma males enjoy being alone, but that doesn't mean they're shy or afraid of people. They just value their time and freedom. They don't like small talk or fake friendships. They choose their connections carefully. If a Sigma speaks, it's because he has something real to say. They also don't care much about impressing others. You won't find them bragging on social media or fighting for attention in a room. Instead, they focus on their goals, stay quiet, and often surprise people with their skills and knowledge. Compared to alpha males, Sigmas don't need to lead a group, but they often end up in leadership roles anyway, because people respect their calm energy and smart decisions. They don't force control, they earn respect without even trying. Now, that doesn't mean life is always easy for a Sigma. People sometimes misunderstand them. They might be seen as cold, distant, or even arrogant. But that's just because they move differently. They're deep thinkers. They watch more than they speak. They prefer action over noise. The Sigma way of living is powerful in today's world, where fake confidence and loud behavior are everywhere. While others chase attention, the Sigma male works in silence and often ends up ahead. And that's exactly why the 48 laws of power fit so well with the Sigma mindset. The book isn't about being loud, it's about being smart, reading people, and staying in control without letting others know you're doing it. Overview of the 48 Laws of Power. The 48 Laws of Power was written by Robert Greene in 1998. Since then, it's become one of the most talked about books when it comes to understanding how power works in real life. It's not a feel-good or friendly guide. Instead, it's honest, some would even say ruthless. It explains how people really act when they want control and what you can do to protect yourself or gain your own power. Each of the 48 laws is based on stories from history, stories of kings, politicians, business leaders, and other powerful people. Greene breaks down what they did, what worked, and what didn't. These laws cover everything from how to carry yourself in public, to how to deal with enemies, and how to plan big moves in silence. Some people say the book is too manipulative. And yes, if these laws are used in the wrong way, they can hurt people. But the truth is, many of these rules are already being used around us, at work, online, in politics, and even in families. If you don't understand them, you risk being controlled by others who do. For Sigma males, this book isn't a blueprint for world domination. It's a way to protect their independence. They don't want to control people, but they also don't want to be controlled. The 48 laws help them move smartly, read the room, and avoid traps set by people who play games. What makes the book even more useful for Sigma types is that it rewards silence, mystery, and self-discipline, all things that come naturally to them. While others are busy showing off or fighting for status, the Sigma can follow these laws quietly and still stay powerful. Knowing these laws doesn't mean you have to use them all the time, but knowing when others are using them on you, that's key. And knowing how to use a few of them at the right moment, that can be life-changing. Key laws of power, relevant to Sigma male's law. Never outshine the master. This law says, always make those above you feel secure. If you seem too smart, too skilled, or too perfect, people in power might feel threatened and then turn against you. Sigma males often don't care about status, but that can actually work in their favor here. They don't need the spotlight. They're fine letting others take credit, especially if it keeps the peace or opens more doors later. The Sigma knows when to hold back. He'll watch the room, understand the power structure, and never challenge the top dog directly. Instead, he'll quietly build his own influence without making enemies. This law protects Sigmas from unnecessary fights. It's not about being fake, it's about being smart. When you don't outshine the master, you stay in the game longer and get what you want without drama. It also matches the Sigma's natural humility. They don't need to prove themselves to everyone. They're confident in silence. And that silence, it speaks louder than any brag ever could. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. This law is simple. Talk less, and people will listen more. The more you speak, the more you reveal about your thoughts, your plans, and your weaknesses. For Sigma males, this law is almost second nature. They're not fans of small talk or long speeches. They pick their words carefully and only speak when it matters. This quiet nature can make them seem mysterious, even powerful. Silence makes people uncomfortable. When a Sigma holds back in a conversation, others start to wonder what he's thinking. That creates curiosity and often respect. People assume there's depth behind the silence, and they're usually right. Talking less also helps a Sigma stay in control. He doesn't give away his strategy. He listens, watches, and learns while others reveal too much. In today's world, where everyone's oversharing online and trying to be heard, the Sigma stands out by saying less. And in that silence, he gains an edge. Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. This law might seem like it goes against the Sigma lifestyle. After all, Sigma males like their space. They enjoy solitude. But the law doesn't say never be alone. It says don't completely cut yourself off. Being totally isolated makes you easy to pick off. You lose touch with reality. You miss chances to learn, grow, and build useful connections. Sigma males walk a fine line here. They value their independence, but they also know when to step into the world and build a few strong, strategic relationships. This law is a reminder that no one succeeds completely alone. Even the lone wolf needs a pack sometimes, just not all the time. For a Sigma, this means staying private, not invisible. Having allies, not a crowd. It's about showing up when it counts and knowing when to disappear again. Balance is key. Too much isolation can make you out of touch. But with smart connections and careful social moves, Sigma males can stay sharp and powerful without losing who they are. Law 25. Recreate yourself. This law is all about transformation. Don't just accept the role life gave you. Create your own identity. Be the one who decides who you are and how the world sees you. For Sigma males, this hits home. They already move differently than most people. They don't fit into common boxes. But this law gives them a tool to go even further by reinventing themselves whenever necessary. A Sigma doesn't need permission to change. If the world changes, he adapts. If a situation demands a new version of himself, he creates it. He doesn't wait for life to push him. He reshapes himself on his own terms. This might mean changing careers, cutting off fake people, or taking on a new challenge that scares him. Sigmas don't fear growth. They fear being stuck. The key is intention. Sigma males don't change just to fit in. They change to stand out, to level up, to get closer to who they truly are. This law also helps Sigmas avoid being predictable. When people can't pin you down, they can't control you. By being fluid, the Sigma male keeps his edge. He's always one step ahead, because no one can guess his next move. Law 48. Assume formlessness. This law tells you to be like water, shapeless, flexible, able to fit any container. The moment people figure you out, they can use that against you. But if you stay unpredictable, they can't pin you down. Sigma males are already hard to define. That's part of their strength. They're not tied to a title, a role, or a group. They move between spaces without losing themselves. Formlessness means not getting stuck in one way of thinking or acting. It means adjusting without losing control. If one path is blocked, the Sigma finds another. If the rules change, he changes his approach. In today's fast-moving world, that's a huge advantage. The people who can't adapt get left behind. But the Sigma, he thrives in change. He watches, he listens, and he shifts before anyone even realizes what's happening. Being formless doesn't mean being fake. It means being aware. The Sigma keeps his values but changes his strategy. He's like a shadow, present but hard to catch. This law is the final power move. When no one can predict you, they can't stop you. And for a Sigma male, that's the ultimate freedom. Practical applications for Sigma males. Understanding these laws is one thing. Using them in the real world is where the power really kicks in. Sigma males don't want to control others, but they do want to move smart, avoid traps, and stay true to themselves. Here's how they can apply the 48 laws of power in everyday life. At work, a Sigma male might hold back in meetings, choosing to listen more and speak only when his words carry weight, Law 4. He avoids trying to outshine his boss, Law 1, even if he knows he could do better. Instead, he builds quiet influence over time, letting results speak for themselves. In social settings, the Sigma knows how to blend in just enough to avoid drawing fire, while still standing out for being calm, cool, and collected. He won't share too much about his personal life, which keeps people guessing and interested. In relationships, he keeps strong boundaries. He doesn't get overly emotional or reactive. He adapts when needed, Law 48, redefines himself when life shifts, Law 25, and avoids total isolation, Law 18, by building a few strong, loyal connections. One big tip for Sigma males is this: use the laws but don't lose yourself in them. These strategies are tools, not a personality. Stay true to your values. Know when to play the game and when to walk away from it. Also, watch for others using the laws on you. If someone's being overly nice or suddenly distant, they might be following a rule from the book. Being aware of that helps the Sigma stay 2 steps ahead. Avoid becoming cold or paranoid. Not everyone is trying to outplay you. Use the laws like a chess player uses strategy, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. When used with balance, the 48 laws can help Sigma males protect their independence, move silently through power games, and quietly win battles most people don't even realize are happening. Sigma males don't chase power, but they understand it. They don't need to dominate others, but they do want to live on their own terms. That's why the 48 laws of power is such a perfect match for them. This isn't about being sneaky or manipulative. It's about being smart. It's about knowing how the world works, so you can move through it without being controlled by it. The Sigma male doesn't want the spotlight. He wants freedom, and the laws help him protect that freedom. We've talked about what it means to be a Sigma male: independent, self-reliant, and calm. We explored how the 48 laws of power offer tools to move wisely without noise. From speaking less, to adapting fast, to knowing when to step back and when to step in. These laws are all about playing the long game. But most importantly, we saw that a Sigma can use these laws without becoming someone else. He doesn't need to fake it. His strength comes from who he already is. So if you see yourself in this path, keep going. Stay quiet. Stay sharp. Keep learning. Power isn't just about being loud or being feared. It's about understanding people, reading the room, and knowing when to move. Sigma males don't play the game to win attention. They play to win freedom. And with the right strategy, they do.